Namaste everyone. Welcome to my channel Ashwin's Astrology. On February 12, 2024, four planets will be conjuncting in Capricorn: Sun, Mars, Venus, and Mercury. And these four planets are the fast moving planets. These four planets belong to the fast moving planet group and not like Jupiter or Saturn, which spends years together in one same sign. And hence, this four fast moving planets conjunction in Capricorn or Makar Rashi is not a normal phenomenon as well, because Capricorn is a karma house in Kalpurush Kundli, and that's why the significance of this transit is much higher than we can think of. So this video will have the complete analysis of this four planetary conjunction in Capricorn. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, kindly subscribe, and also please like and share the videos among your friends and family circle who are interested in Vedic astrology. And please press the bell icon to receive instant notifications as soon as I upload the video. We know the motion period of all the planets. So suppose if we take Sun, it completes one whole Rashi in 1 month and the whole Bhachakra or zodiac in 1 year. Similarly, Moon will take around 2.25 days to transit one whole Rashi because it's very close to Earth. So here we have to consider both heliocentric and geocentric method. But most of the scenarios, if we see, it will be geocentric, and from the Sun also we are taking in consideration for certain planetary motions as well. So for Moon, it will be 2.25 days in one Rashi, and the whole Bachakra will be covered in 27 days. Next, Mars will take around 45 days in one Rashi and the whole Bachakra in 1.5 years. And Mercury will take around 20 to 23 days in one Rashi and the whole Bachakra or zodiac will be covered in around 10 to 11 months. Jupiter, which is the largest planet in the solar system, will take around 1 year in the Rashi and 12 years to complete the whole zodiac. And Jupiter is regarded as the most benefic planet. We have Venus, which is very close to Mercury and Sun, and that's why it has the similar amount of motion period, that is 25 to 27 days, and the whole zodiac it will cover in 1 year. Then we have the slowest moving planet, Saturn, which will take around 2.5 years in one Rashi, and the whole zodiac it will cover in 30 years. So that's why in a human lifespan of, or if we even take an average of 100 to 120 years also, hardly 3 times Sun will transit over your Moon. So that's why Sade Sati or the Saturn transit on Moon is considered very important factor in Vedic astrology, because it's the slowest moving planet, so it gets only 3 time opportunity to transit over the Moon sign or to any Rashi, and every time when we see the transit also, it will, the duration will be longer, but the amount of times it would come to the same Rashi would be very less. So this is how the motion period of all the planets are. So when we observe here, so the conjunction of Jupiter, Venus, Sun and Moon might happen at least once in a year. So it's not a but in a different Rashi, and this can happen at least once in a year in any Rashi it could be. And similarly, Saturn, Venus, Mars, Moon also can happen in a Rashi once in a year, and it's not a big phenomena. But conjunction of Sun, Mars, Mercury, Venus in one Rashi is little bit difficult, because Sun and Mercury conjunction keeps happening, and sometimes Sun and Venus conjunction also keeps happening, and sometimes like around once in 2 years or 3 years also, Sun Mercury Venus conjunction also would be there. But Mars joining the party is what very important, because the kind of motion Mars has, no, it doesn't even go retrograde most of the times. Hardly once in 2 years or 2.5 years is when we observe Mars going retrograde as well. So even the retrograde phenomena I have explained in the basic series of the Kundli. You can find the video in my YouTube channel and you can take a look at that. It will explain you better of how or why retrogression happens as well. And that's why Sun, Mars, Mercury and Venus conjunction in Capricorn this time is of a very important phenomena. So Sun, Mars, Mercury and Venus conjuncting in Capricorn, which is a natural karma house in the whole zodiac, as per the Kalprush Kundli, will trigger certain amount of events from world perspective as well as from the individual moon sign as well. Because these four planets have certain karakattvas, because of which they can shower some great blessings as well, or some great changes in life as well, which the other planets cannot do, because the combination of these four planets is something different than the other. Here, Sun and Mercury are friends, and Sun and Venus doesn't share the cordial relationship. Here, Mars and Venus are neutral to each other, or kind of a friendly, and Sun and Mars are friendly, and but Mars and Mercury are not friends. So we have some amount of enmity also, some amount of friendship also, but this gets fixed over the time, because they are not fierce enemies here. So the way we see the Sun and Saturn, Mars and Saturn being fierce enemies, we don't see the same here. And I'm not considering Rahu Ketu here in any of the conjunction, because whenever any planet conjuncts with Rahu or Ketu, most of the times we see the negative effects only. But very in few cases, conjunction with Rahu or Ketu also will give out good results if the planet happens to be the Lord of Trikona, because Trikonas are Lakshmi Stan, and that has to definitely give auspicious result. So coming to the main topic here, so the conjunction of these four planets will have some effects on the world as well as on from the individual perspective as well. So now let's move on to the prediction part. So if we cast the Kundli at the time this transit happens, this is how it looks like. So currently Sun, Mercury and Mars are already in Makar Rashi, and Venus, which is in Dhanu Rashi, will move to Makar Rashi on 12th of February 2024, early morning, early hours. And at the time it would be Dhanur Lagna, and we can see Lagna Lord Jupiter in the 5th house. So, and Rahu Ketu in 4th axis, and Saturn in the 3rd house, who is the 3rd lord, along with the 8th lord Moon. So, this is a good kind of a combination I can mention, because the 2nd house getting activated here very prominently. So we can see a lot of family events, auspicious events, because anyhow Magh Masa also has started. In South India, we consider this as Magh Masa starting. Even though for North India, Magh Masa has already started from the Krishna Paksha. So we follow Amanta Paddhati in South, and North Indians follow Purnimanta Paddhati. So to both of us, this is Magh Masa Shukla Paksha itself. And on the Tritiya, Maghamas Shukla Tritiya, this four fast moving planetary conjunction is happening. And this conjunction only will be valid for 2 days. That is on 12th of February as well as of 13th of February. Because on 13th of February around evening 4 or 5 p.m. Sun will move out of Makar Rashi and will move into Aquarius. And on 13th of February only, before moving to Aquarius only, Sun will start combusting Saturn, and Shani combustion is something bit important as well, because Sun and Saturn are very inimical to each other, and I'll make a video separately for that. But considering the current conjunction, this is a very good conjunction, because here Sun is not conjuncting any planet here, even though Mercury is at the borderline of the conjunction, but it is not that affected, because Mercury is a planet which will be very close to Sun, so it keeps getting combust, and it's a good friend of Sun also, so it knows to handle that energy. And the planets which are friendly in nature to Sun, even if they get combust, they won't have that amount of negative effects which can be expected when Sun and Venus get Sun combust Venus actually. So coming to the general predictions here, so second house, as I mentioned, it represents families, auspicious events, and also it is very good for finances, wealth, and prosperity. And Lagna Lord being in the 5th house is also a great Dhan Yoga. And also we can see many religious events, many spiritual events, or any kind of ceremonies, or any of the Shodasha Samskaras which were pending for many of them would actually take place at this time actually. And having them at this time period is also very good. This effect of it would be there for around 10 to 15 days, because only even though these planets stay in the same Rashi for 2-3 days, and then Sun moves out, then Mercury moves out, and Mars Venus will remain in the same sign for around 4 weeks. So this effect wouldn't be for a very long time, so this is a very shorter time period, and this is considered very rare as well. So if I could remember when this happened, it could be around 15-20 years ago is what I can mention. So from a general perspective, it's a good combination for finance, wealth, prosperity, for family life, and also for good uh, occasions to happen from the societal perspective, and also from political angle as well. We can see some controversial statements which may not fit well, but government may take some strict actions as well. So because sun is at a very prominent uh, degree as well here, and is about to move to Aquarius and combusting Saturn. Saturn represents public, and also which is very close to Rahu here. Next. So any kind of riots or any kind of illegal activities which are supposed to take place, that would be curbed because sun is getting very stronger. So it's already a Uttarayan, and with the passage of Ratha Saptami, sun becomes much more powerful. So we can see some good time ahead, and sun will become Uchabilashi as and when he moves towards Aquarius and then to Pisces. So this is how we can mention that it could be a good time period from the political angle, but certain personalities who have a habit of delivering controversial statements might deliver some and may actually get into problem this time. They couldn't have got into problem in previous times, but this time definitely they may get into problem. Apart from this, this combination may not serve very good for media personalities, because Venus, as soon as he enters, Mercury is the planet of communication. So for orators or someone, so they have to be very careful in choosing their words and also delivering any kind of speech. So this is also an important matter. So apart from this, I think we don't see any major events because this is for shorter time period. So now let's move into individual moon sign predictions. So for Mesh Rashi, this conjunction is happening in the 10th house. So for 10th house, it will be mainly from career and business perspective because it's a karma house. So definitely the planets will give the results of that house. And we can see that there could be some changes in career or business for Mesh Rashi people. Some major expectations would be fulfilled, or some communication with higher management is also seen, and business expansion or some new venturing, or you might even explore some new opportunities as well. So that also is visible here, because the fourth lord moon is in the 11th house with the 11th lord. So this is actually a kind of a wish fulfillment, but there could be some um, disheartening moments as well, because Saturn moon combination is usually represents sadness or miseries. But because Saturn is placed in its own Rashi, I'm expecting some good things to happen, or some convincing things to happen, or you might come to a decision also with respect to your career. So overall, this time period is very good for Mesh Rashi, and because your Rashadipati is only getting exalted in 10th house and is forming Ruchak Mahapurush Yoga. So if you have this yoga even in your birth chart also, then it will give the result during this transit. And also let me mention, if you are in Rahu Dasha or if you are in Shani Dasha, then you might not get the good results of this conjunction, because these planets are not friendly to Rahu or Saturn, except Venus and Mercury. But Rahu Saturn Dasha, if, or Mahadasha or Antardasha is running, and if they are not in a good position with any of these planets, then definitely results would not be uh, in a good shape. But if you have any pleasant dashas of Sun Dasha, Moon, Venus, or any of Mars Dasha itself, then this conjunction can give you a very good result, some recognition, reward, everything at workplace. So overall for Mesh Rashi, this is a good time period. Next, moving on to Vrishabh Rashi. So this conjunction is happening in the 9th house, and that's why it's fortune which will favor you. So if you're brave enough to fight for yourself, so fortune definitely favors you, and luck will give its results. And there could be rise in income because it's a Lakshmi Stan, and some dharma karya also can happen at your family. And long distance travel is seen here, and this will be a favorable transit to your father, Vrishabh Rashi native father, and good for students who are into higher education or who are pursuing PhD as well, because ninth house represents higher education, postdoctoral degree. So this is very important, and only when this fourth when higher amount of energies join in ninth house, that's when we can expect some greater events. So for Vrishabh Rashi natives, Mars in the ninth house, who is the seventh lord in the ninth house, is a great Raj Yoga. And fourth lord Sun in the ninth house, that's a great Raj Yoga. And fifth and second lord in the ninth house, that's a very good Dhani Yoga. So Venus, who is the Rashadipati and also sixth lord in the ninth house. So this is a Raj Yoga, as well as this is something, if you fight for it, you will get it. It's that kind of a moment. So if you have uh, any of the two planet conjunction, which is among these four planets, then definitely in this transit will help you a lot. So this is without considering the dasha antardasha. Considering the dasha antardasha is good, so please do keep that also in mind, because any event can happen only when you have promise in your birth chart. Then promise in your uh, divisional charts, as well as the dasha antardasha of current time period should be favorable. So if all of them are there, then this transit is very good for you. Next, coming to Mithun Rashi, this conjunction is happening in the 8th house. So 8th house represents all the sudden events, and 8th house is the most evil house. So for 8th house, we can say that sudden events in life and changes in the family life, because being in 8th house, all these planets will aspect 2nd house, which represents family. And this also indicates sudden financial loss or sudden expenses as well, because 8th house is Randra Bhav, so money actually has to flow in like water here. But 12th Lord Venus in the 8th house is a Vipreet Raj Yoga or Vimal Yoga. So this is a good combination, yet it can actually trigger certain events which may not be in favor of you. So this is definitely not a good time period for Gemini or Mithun Rashi. Next, moving to Kark Rashi, this conjunction is happening in 7th house. So this conjunction again has some positive and negative for Kark Rashi. That is, firstly, marital life, public life will be very busy for you, and great interaction in social life is also seen. Some high level contacts are also possible. But if you have any affliction to 7th house in your birth chart, then you might have serious fight with your spouse. That is definitely a seen. So that's why I mentioned marital life could be very busy, because it might be for good also, it might be for bad also, because 7th house is a marak bhav. So it depends on which planets are placed, or which planets are having their association with 7th house in your birth chart, that will actually define this transit results. So next, moving to Simha Rashi. For Simha Rashi, this conjunction is happening in 6th house. So health definitely needs attention. So much of planets in 6th house. Even the Rashadipati Sun is joining the other planets, second lord, third lord, fourth lord in the 6th house. So your health, as well as your mother's health, your siblings' health, all needs attention. And if there are any existing litigations, then you need to fight it out to get it into a good note. And also, if you are into any competitions, any sports, then it will be very good, because Sun is here with Mars. It will give you that fighting spirits, and if you fight hard for it, you might win the competition and could be a champion. So, and also because Jupiter is in the ninth house, so, and also aspecting the Rashi and fifth house, so it gives some amount of support and protection. And that's why if you keep your fights on, then definitely you can win the race. Next, coming to Kanya Rashi, this conjunction is happening in the fifth house for Kanya Rashi, and fifth house is very good for any kind of spiritual pursuits. So it's a Purva Punya Sthana, and also for good for mantra sadhana and mantra siddhi, and your Purva Punya will open. So it is good for children of Kanya natives, and you may receive some amount of income from father as well, and there is a educational growth. But you have to be careful if you have any existing heart diseases, because Sun and Mars joining the fifth house is not a good one, because it's the third lord and 12th lord joining the fifth house, and fifth house represents heart. So if any of the Kanya Rashi natives have existing heart diseases, then it actually may cause some amount of problems, because Jupiter is in the 8th house. So you don't have the protection of Jupiter also, and you already have Ketu and Rahu also. So Ketu um, usually is like a whole or very sukshma, all these stuff. So be careful if you are having existing heart diseases or any kind of illness, because Ketu in the Rashi only is means that you have a bacteria or virus in your body. So it will definitely trigger certain, and because Ketu here is in Virgo Rashi, which is the natural sixth house in the Kalpurush Kundi. And that's why Ketu here is not a good one. So please be careful on any existing diseases and especially heart diseases. Next, moving to Libra or Tula Rashi. For Libra and Tula Rashi, this conjunction is happening in fourth house. Fourth house is completely materialistic nature, plus it represents mother. So this could be a very good transit for your mother, and also from all the materialistic possessions, this could be a very good time period. You can buy property, vehicle, you can buy or sell land or house also. And this is a wonderful time period for all kinds of luxury comforts which you want to have for yourself. So it's good from that angle. Next, moving to Scorpio Rashi. This is happening in the third house. So third house represents younger siblings, short travels, and for any kind of talents as well. And this transit would be favorable for people who are talented, and you might take some new initiatives or some new efforts. So short travels, or this could be very good for younger siblings as well. Next, moving to Sagittarius, this will be happening in the second house, and that's why this could be good for finances, wealth, and also family life. And this is also good for singers, orators, or even politicians. And as I mentioned before, some controversial statements also can hurt you if you are not careful on it. Next, moving to Capricorn. So all these planets are making the conjunction in your own Rashi, and your own Rashi is the Karma house in the Kalpush Kundli. So this is the time period you may get the results of your good karmas, and mainly because of good karmas, if planets are placed well in your birth chart. So if these four planets are placed in good positions in your birth chart, so this time you will get the good results of your own karma, and you can expect some major changes in your personal life. Changes would be found mainly in residence, career, lifestyle, and change in every aspect of life you can take, because it is happening in your own Rashi. So definitely it has to bring some major changes in your own life. Next, moving to Aquarius. So for Aquarius, this is happening in the 12th house. And if you have good yoga of foreign travel, then definitely you can have travel abroad or career also in abroad as well. If you're looking for opportunities in America, London, or any of the Western countries, you can expect that. But because Aquarius represents West direction, that's why I'm telling Western countries. If you don't have any yoga or foreign travel in your birth chart, and if you don't have any time period, dasha, antardasha, indicating the same, then you might have some sudden loss in money or hospital visits. Health issues may happen because Kumbh Rashi is in Papakartari Yoga right now, because Rahu is in the second house and Mars Sun is in the 12th house. And even though Sun moves out of Capricorn, also Mars will stay here till 15th of March. And that's why till then, till March 15, Kumbh Rashi people would feel that they are stuck in a life and they are not able to move out in life, or they are not able to have peace in life. And that's why this time period would be very, very difficult for Kumbh Rashi. So you may see a lot of health issues also, because sixth lord moon is coming into the Rashi, which is not a good one. And you don't have any protection of any other Rashis, because you're all completely, all the planets have uh, cornered you. So that's why this could be some tricky time period for you. So apart from that, I don't see any positive stuffs here. And it could even increase expenditure because 12th house is overloaded. So this is a bit tricky time period for Aquarius Rashi. Next, moving to Pisces moon sign. So this is good for elder siblings because this is happening in 11th house, and some gains are expected here because it's the 11th house. But your 11th lord Saturn is in 12th house, and that's why it can even turn into loss, because after Sun moves out of Capricorn, Saturn will be combust by Sun, and Sun is the sixth lord for you. So 6th 12 connection in the 12th, in a way it may sound like a Viprit Raj Yoga, but over the scenarios I have seen that it can give very terrible results also. And because it Jupiter is in Bharani Nakshatra in the second house, he can actually help you with some amount of finances, some gain, some money you might try to save. But because your house of loss is so strong, it can definitely eradicate or evade of all the accumulated money as well. So that's why you have to be very careful about your finances during this time period. And this conjunction doesn't seem to give some great results as expected, because usually when planets conjunct in 11th house, they are supposed to give good results. But in this scenario, it's not happening, and you already have Rahu also. So this could be a bit problematic. So your Rashi Adhipati in the second house transit, it could be considered as good, but as per Maharshi Parashar in Brihat Parashar Hora Shastra, so Jupiter in second house, it may not serve well, even though he's the Karaka of second house. We do have the concept Karako Bhava Nasheha, but Jupiter, whenever he comes to the second house, Jupiter and Saturn have some distinct features. So wherever Jupiter sits, he destroys one signification of that house and elevates the signification of the houses it aspects. So Jupiter aspecting Leo, Libra as well as Sagittarius can do well for you. So 6th house, 8th house and 10th house. So this can do well for your career. You might get better opportunities in your career, and also it can protect you from being in ill health, or even it can protect your life as well. So it can protect you from not facing any bad events in life, but can't deliver good results for you. And that's why this conjunction, even though happening in the 11th house, uh, is not delivering the good results as expected. So this was the individual moon sign prediction for all the 12 moon signs. And the best remedy during this time, it is best to avoid any kind of unnecessary conversation with any people and just stick to a job which would do better in our life. So this was all about the 4 fast moving planetary conjunctions. And if you like this video, kindly like, share, and uh, comment in the section as well, and provide your feedback or suggestions if you have any. So until we meet again, thank you.